Good morning, everybody. Erev Shabbos Kodesh. Okay. Parshas Chukas, and a lot of Torah this week. It's actually the big turning page. Page turns. The big three. The big three: Miriam, Aaron, and Moshe. Miriam dies this week's parsha, and Aaron and Moshe get the decree that they're not going to go to Eretz Yisrael, and they'll be dead in a few months. This is the 40th year. We turned the page from last week, from year 2 to year 40. 39 years just go by like that. And I thought it was a pretty interesting point. We know that this week we have a lot of graduations this week. My daughter last week finished high school. My older daughter finished university, occupational therapy. Yesterday, graduation. And I thought it was some interesting pieces that I picked up from the graduation, what it is, and a little bit related to the parsha. And everyone has graduations. I mean, Facebook, friends of mine, high school, Bais Medrash, one kid's going to Army, finishing Army. So everyone either has a graduate or knows someone who's graduating. So I think it's probably apropos, I guess. Two things going on at graduation. Again, I'm trying to think of this at a graduation. One is the parent has this nachas and this sense of happiness that their child, son, daughter, grandkid finished this college, and this huge nachas and appreciation for the hard work that he or she went through. The other side, the graduate at some point thanks the parents. Either emotional support or academic support, not that we provided any, but financial support. Most parents paying, just like my parents pay for university and college and things like that. So there's two things going on, I think. That's kind of interesting. And a lot of graduations, at some point, the graduates turn around, they clap. I think in my undergrad, we clap for the parents. And there's definitely a karas hatov to your parents that paid for this. A lot of we take it for granted sometimes. Not everyone could afford college. People have to work 1, 2, a couple of side jobs to pay for this. So it's a karas hatov to the parents. And I think what's interesting this week's parsha is this hachana that Moshe has to get the people to this point. We know that Az Yashu Moshe. And this week's parsha is Az Yisrael, the Jewish people sing. And there's a big difference. The first 40 years is literally Moshe, Aaron, and Miriam getting the Jewish people to this point. The Nisim, Torah B'Ksav, all these great things all these lessons that the Jewish people got from zero, from nothing. But at this point, though, turn the page. Jewish people have to do this for themselves. The Jewish people sing Yasher Yisrael. Next week's parsha, Yidar Yisrael Neder Leinehem. Now the Jewish people have to see for themselves. For 40 years, they were quote unquote carried by the big three, and now they're gonna do things for themselves. They're gonna have to fight their own battles. No more Anani HaKavod, or it's gone, or at some level. They gotta get their own food. They gotta get their own water. They have to do for themselves, and this is something that. As much as a parent can prepare and get them ready, this is something that the graduate or the Jewish people have to do for themselves. And this is kind of literally why the Bnei Yisrael don't have these leaders anymore. It's a different type of leader that they need. It's not matim anymore for the big three to be for these people. On the other hand, the Jewish people now have to still remember of this kesher and shaychus they have to Hashem. Sfas Emes says, Ratzon. Ratzon, flip the letters around, shtickle, you get sinor, which is a pipe. And no matter what Hashem gives us, and the great things that we have from Kadosh Baruch Hu, Eretz Yisrael, a house, health, children, doing well in school, we always have to remember this sinor, that this path that is still attached to Hashem. The Gemara says, in benching, if you say mituvo as opposed to bituvo, mituvo, you're a bor. Means when you're benching, you say mituvo, that this is nifrad, this is separate from Hashem. Hashem gave me something, and now it's mine. Ubituvo, from the goodness, there is this connection that we still have. And this is something that the graduate has to remember, that as much as they studied on their own and they did great things, they still have this hakar satov they have to have for their parents and for Kadosh Baruch Hu. I just picked up. I found on this table a Chovos Halvavos, and it has the parish from Ravigda Miller, and says that even if a parent realizes that really they're not out of the goodness of their heart sometimes. Why does a parent help their children out? It's sometimes for their own good. They want their kids to succeed, so they don't have to pay for them all the time. They want the kids, they want to get nachas out of it. So a parent is not always 100% altruistic in their motives. Still, mitzvah number 5, kibbud aim, that still, even if someone gives you something and it's not 100% out of the goodness of their heart, you still have this hakar satov. And achas kama v'kama. A person actually is a messenger. The money that I paid for some of the college, or most of it, I don't even know what I paid. It came from Kadosh Baruch Hu. I worked, but really it came from Hashem. So even though I get thanked, I'm not really the one who has the money. It really came from Kadosh Baruch Hu. And this realization that no matter what we do, we always have to thank a parent for support, financial support, emotional support. We also have to thank Kadosh Baruch Hu and never forget that this tzinor is always from a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom.